Hi, I'm Chanel Shea and welcome to Vlogmas. This is Happy Little Knits. Good morning and happy Vlogmas day 4. We opened Sophie's Advent, her little bluey Advent, and I'm loving it so far. I got her a dollhouse that she's gonna open on Christmas Eve to go, like, for her to put everything in. However, she already lost the first 2 pieces, which was Bluey and a crown. They're gone. I have this advent here. So if you missed yesterday's video, you should go watch it. But my husband surprised me with the yarn advent yesterday, and we opened the first 2 days. So today's December 3rd. This will be coming out on December 4th because I filmed the day before. So I'm taking these as the day that it is instead of what the day that you're watching would be. So instead of opening day 4, I'm opening day 3. However, so they just kind of came in a bag and they aren't like individually packaged. So if I open the bag, I can like see pretty much all of them. So what I'm doing is, because they came in this bag, it's in sheep's clothing, or yeah, a sheep's clothing on Etsy and eBay. So they're all in here, but I kind of wanted to go over this a little bit because I was watching the footage yesterday when I was editing and realized I didn't describe things very well. So we're gonna open this advent and then we're gonna talk about the socks, and then yeah. Also, I want to talk about the coffee. I put it in my, this has been my favorite mug lately. It says Happy Christmas and it has little mushrooms. It's so cute. And it's like, I want to say, oh, it doesn't say if it's handmade or not, but it's like this off-white with some speckling. Black speckles. I'm like obsessed with this cup so much. I love it. It's my favorite cup. Mug, I should say. Anyway. So I made a cup of coffee this morning and I used the candy cane syrup from the ones I showed you last night. And it is really good. It's nice and subtle. I was expecting it to be like peppermint extract or something and it'd be really strong, but it's actually like really subtle. I had to add quite a bit so I could like have the flavor come through because I love a peppermint latte. I think peppermint lattes are my favorite, especially this time of year. Let's move on to the advent. So I went over the things that it came with, but I just wanted to show you sorry, today because last night was crazy. My brain wasn't working and Sophie's hands were all over everything. So I'm gonna show you them now. So we got a little package with some stickers. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. 2 little sheep blowing a bubble gum. And we got these ones. Cute. And then this is a magnet. Has their name on it. And then we just got some cards. Focus. So that was really nice. And then it also came with a bonus bag of yarn. These are, I don't remember the name of it, but it's like magic cake or something. But you wind it up in a way to make this little cake, and then you have a center pole here. It looks kind of like a little cherry. There you go, you can kind of see it better. This is, so last night I just pulled 2 out for day 1 and day 2. So this was day 1 that I grabbed. There is no information on the fiber content or the weight or the colorways, nothing. I checked everywhere. There is no information on what these things are. So yeah. I wish I could tell you what these all were. I have no idea. This is a bigger one that came in this bag. I'm assuming this is like the main skein that you would get. So this is like, I don't know, this was right on the top of the bag. And then this was day 1. This was day 2. Okay, and then I'm gonna pull out of this bag day 3. I'm not gonna look, I'm gonna shake it a little bit. I'm gonna dig from the bottom. And I did do this last night to see if maybe there was a card in the bag. There's not. I'm even feeling it right now. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Ooh, oh my gosh, that is so cute. It's kind of giving like, I don't know, like Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, because there's like black and green and gray, blue and pink, a little bit of white. Oh, come on, focus. Yeah, it's super cute. So, those are the first 3 days, the main guy, and then some little extras. These ones are smaller. Oh yeah, they're like way smaller. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to weigh these because I don't know. They all seem really small. It's almost giving somebody's scraps. That's kind of how this feels. But I'm not complaining. I mean, I've never had a yarn advent before, and it was very sweet of my husband to surprise me with that. So I'm not complaining. Oh, I also forgot to show you. It came with this little jar. Oh, focus, focus, focus. Come on. There we go. Of stitch markers. I thought that was really cute. Focus. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. We got red, green, gold, black. Yeah, very Christmassy. So that was my yarn advent. That was day 3. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the socks. So last night I showed you I had cast on the first 2 socks, and I got to this point on the first one. So I cast on 64 stitches on 3.5 millimeter needles, US 4, and I knit 10 rounds of twisted 2x2 twisted rib. I love doing twisted rib because it just gives it a really nice clean look, in my opinion. And then I switched to 3.75 US 5 millimeter needle, or 3.75 millimeter needles US 5, and I knit 10 rounds of stockinette, and then I switched to 4 millimeter US 6 needles and did 1 round, and then I put that on hold and I cast on the second one. So this is actually the second sock, and I have got it cut up now. And this was the bigger cake. I don't think I told you yesterday, actually. So when I was caking these up, I caked it up in one big cake, and then I put it on a food scale and weighed it, and then just divided it in half. So when I first weighed it, it said 111 grams. The label doesn't say how many grams it is. So I was just going based off what my scale said. My scale said 111, which it usually does when I get a 100-gram skein. It's usually 111. So I caked it up until the scale read 50, and then I cut the yarn and caked up the second half because, you know, now it's all loose and floppy. Excuse me. So then I had 2 cakes, but one was bigger than the other. So I weighed them again, and all of a sudden one was like 66. The first cake that I made was 66 grams, and the other one was like 48 or 49, something like that, which made no sense. So then I weighed them together, and it said 118 grams. So I have no idea. Like, I'm assuming it was 100 grams. I'm assuming that because typically you get 100 gram skeins, not 118. I just think that it might have been like a 48-52 kind of situation. Anyway, so this is the second sock, and this is the bigger cake, okay? So I still have this much left, and I've knit this much of the sock so far. So after I got the second one cut up, I then moved on back to the first one to do the color work. And it is so cute. Oh, by the way, this is my, in case you forgot, this is the contrasting color. So it's like a beigey, not exactly cream, it's more coming off like tan, so it's kind of like beige, and it has the same color purple, and then it has like yellow and green and orange speckled all throughout. So this is my first sock. Look at the Christmas tree. Ah, they're so cute. Oh my gosh, I am so obsessed with these. Look at how cute. Oh my gosh, they are so cute. I cannot.
Mommy.
Whatty?
Daddy.
Daddy's at work.
Mommy.
Isn't that so cute? And the yarn really is, it looks like ornaments on the tree. I mean, it is like beige, but it looks like it has ornaments. Let me show you one more time, up close. Oh, come on, focus. Like, is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen in your entire life? This is the other side. Oh my gosh, I just love them so much. So it looks like it's puckered, but it actually has so much stretch. So I was talking last night about I have issues with knitting color work for some reason. They always end up too tight, and then I always have to frog my projects. So what I usually do is I usually catch my floats when I have a long space in between, so that I don't have such a wide float. And I think that is my issue because I didn't do that this time around. Plus, I knit with such a larger needle. So I knit this whole part of the cuff with the 3.75. And then for this, the Christmas tree, I knit on 4. And I think that really helped. And then I went back down to 3.75 and knit the rest of this cuff here. Or leg? Whatever. On 3.75. So I think that helped a lot. And then on top of that, not catching my floats. And I usually am like so stressed out that I'm knitting so tight. So this time I just try to make sure, because I am a continental knitter. So I hold the strand in my left hand while I'm knitting. And so then when I'm doing color work, I knit English style with the contrasting color and I throw my yarn. So I made sure to do it a lot looser instead of tight like how I usually do. And what I did was, if I would like knit with the main color or whatever, I would then pull the stitches back on my needle so it's not all scrunched up. So when I pulled it back, then I would just wrap it around the needle like that and knit it with the contrasting color. And that seemed to make sure that, because if I had all my stitches stretched, then it's a shorter float versus if I stretch them all I meant scrunched, but if I stretch them all out, then it's a longer float, so that way it's not pulling it together. I hope that makes sense. I hope I explained that well. But yeah, it's very stretchy. Usually I can't really like stretch my color work. This is like super stretchy. I'll show you my floats. You see the little trees? How cute! I did the with the tail. You can kind of see it here, where you like weave in as you go. Oh, right here. So you catch the tail as you're knitting along. I learned it from Stephen West, so I call it the weave in Stephen, like that's what he calls it. So I did that with both tails so I can just cut them off. I still like to go in and weave them in just a little bit, but you honestly don't have to, and sometimes I really am not in the mood, so I'll just knit them and they do just fine. But yeah, so I knit the color work, excuse me, and then I did, because the chart says to do like, 2 more rounds of stockinette after you finish the tree. So I did that on the 4mm needles, US 6. And then I switched back to 3.75 and I knit 10 rounds of stockinette. And so I'm not exactly following the pattern, I'm kind of winging it. So I'm just doing my own thing. But I knit, excuse me, 10 rounds stockinette. So the cuff is, or the leg, what is it called? This whole section from the ribbing on, or I should say it this way, is 35 rounds. I usually go for a much longer cuff. I usually do like 60 to 70 rounds because I like to scrunch my socks up so they're nice and bunched. But the thing is with color work, I want it to obviously stand out. So I made sure not to do super long so that when I pull it up, it'll all stretch out and look really nice and even. And if I wear my boots, because I have like short boots, the leg, I guess, only goes around my ankle. So then I can show off my socks, basically, is what I'm saying. And then I started working the heel. Now when I'm working on my heel, I like to do, I've known it as a German short row heel, but I think it's also called a shadow wrap heel. I'm not 100% sure, but basically what I do, I kind of just started doing this on my own. I don't see it. I think I'm having a stroke. I need to slow down. I haven't seen anyone else do it like this. This is just kind of how my brain has figured it out and it works best for me. So I knit a full round and then on the last stitch, I do a German short row and I turn and then I purl across to the halfway point. So since I'm doing 64 stitches, I purl across 32 stitches. On the 32nd stitch, I then German short row turn, and I do that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until I get to the number that I want. So in this case, there's birds and squirrels in my backyard. My cat is like freaking out. In this case, since I have, excuse me, oh my goodness, I have 32 stitches. I am knitting I'm going back and forth doing the German short rows until I have 11 German short rows on both sides and 10 stitches left. So that would give me 32 stitches. I like to do it that way because then I think it gives it a really nice look. It's not super pointy, but it's also not like a flat heel. You know, it makes it just perfect for my foot personally. So then what I do after I finish working all the short rows and I have just the 10 stitch gap is I like to then work back and forth picking up the short rows. I started working the heel on this one. I think I did I've done about 6 short rows on either side, I believe. Yeah. So I did 6 on one side and I'm working on doing my 5th on the other side. I'm in the middle of a row. Anyway, all that to say, I have this much left of the second cake. So this is the first, or this is the second one, the smaller one. So you can see the difference. Oh my. Granted, I have worked a lot more on this than the other sock, but I'm worried that I'm not gonna have enough to finish the foot. But this is my idea. So obviously I can knit, I switched needles on these 2 socks. So these have the US 6 4mm needles. So I'm ready to knit the color work on here. But then once I do the color work, I can't switch back to these smaller needles until I'm done with the sock. So I'm gonna take a break from this one today and I'm gonna do the color work on this one. And then this is just gonna sit on hold for a little bit. So what I'm thinking is once I finish the color work, I'm still gonna have quite a bit of this yarn left over. So I'm gonna knit the toes with this. I think that's gonna look really, really good. So I'm gonna do that and that should help. I definitely have enough to finish the heel and the foot with this. And then I might run out by then, and that's where this comes in. And I can have enough to knit the toes. And then if anything, I still have quite a bit of this left, so I could just pull from the center and work up whatever I need from this one. But I definitely have enough yarn here to get 2 socks out of this one skein. That is the plan. That is what we're working on today. I don't feel like working on anything else. I just want to work with these socks. We are about to go to the store. I need to finish my coffee. We're gonna head to the store. Woody? Love you. Are you singing your ABCs?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, I am gonna get groceries for dinner tonight, and then I do need to do some tidying up again, and I have an insane amount of laundry to fold. The sun is out again, so if it's not too cold, because it was 33 when I came downstairs this morning. If it's not too cold in this afternoon before Sophie's nap, we might go to the PARK. But we'll just see how the day goes. Anyway, let's get the day started then, I guess. Sophie is wearing one of the sweaters that I made her. I knit this. This is, oh crap, I don't remember the name of it. Yarn Inspirations, and it's like a raglan sweater pattern for children and toddlers. And I used Laura Penrose's colorwork chart that she just released with her hot water bottle cover. So we have acorn, some mushrooms. The little white bits kind of disappeared. I did just a red wine, and then we have some pumpkins, and then at the bottom we have some green vines. Give me those. Give it. But yeah, it is super thick. It's 100% wool, so it'll keep her nice and warm. I used 2 different colors, so it would like fade from this darker brown to this like cream color. And I think it's so cute. It looks a lot better in the back, but the front we have like some weird spacing, but in the back it's really nice and even. And yeah, pumpkin. So I knit this hat for Sophie a couple months ago. And what are you doing? So I just knit a regular, I started out as a muscle burrow, but I didn't finish it. I just knit a couple inches and then did some ribbing. And then, because she loves to take her hats off, I knit I-cords on either side so I could tie it at the bottom, and she can't take it off. Plus, it keeps her ears fully covered and warm. So, life hack for any moms out there whose babies and their children take their hats off: put an I-cord, kind of like rope on either side, and you can tie it so it stays on. Okay, we are back from the store. It is 10:28. I just got done putting the groceries away. I'm gonna do some tidying, I think, because it's kind of messy again. And then I think Sophie and I are gonna bake some COOKIES. I'll show you. I've really been craving sugar cookies. Every December since I was a kid, my stepmom used to put together like a cookie decorating thing for me and my siblings, and we're all adults now and we're still doing it. So we're doing it at actually in like 2.5 weeks. We're gonna do our annual cookie decorating, but she makes them, I'm pretty sure she makes them from scratch, but she's been doing the same cookie recipe for years. It might not be from scratch, but either way, they're so good. And I was gonna make them from scratch, but then I was like, you know what, I don't feel like doing that. Plus, I need to buy almond extract, and I didn't really feel like, I don't know, going on a hunt for almond extract, and I was on a tight budget because I needed to get dinner. I got enough dinner for 2 dinners, or enough groceries for 2 dinners. So anyway, so I just went with this, and I think it's gonna be just as good. So I'm gonna do some cleaning, and then Sophie and I are gonna get to baking, and then it'll be her nap time soon. She woke up a little bit earlier this morning, so she might take an early nap. We'll see. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay, it is now 10:57 and the house is clean. Dishes are done, things are picked up, floors are swept, everything looks so good and sparkly. I think it's time to make some, you know what? I originally wanted to get them so Sophie and I can do them together because she loves baking with me, but I'm really not in the mood for making a huge mess. But since this is pre-packaged, I think it's just like 3 ingredients. Yeah. So it should be a little bit easier to do. And then we'll bake them, or we'll shape them, bake them, and then I will frost them. She doesn't get to be a part of that stuff. I don't feel like dealing with it today. Usually I wouldn't mind, but I just really want the house to be clean today. Okay, so Sophie had a little bit of quiet time in her room for a little bit, and now she is asleep. So I'm gonna show you the cookies. They didn't turn out very good. I have them on a cooling rack on top of the stove, but yeah, so you got a candy cane, snowman, I think this was a reindeer, Santa's hat here and here, gingerbread man, reindeer star. They didn't really hold their shape very good, and they all kind of like blurps together. Wow, that was a really nice sound, and that felt good coming out of the mouth. Anyway, they smushed together basically. So they didn't turn out how I pictured, but they still taste good. The flavor is very like, there isn't much flavor. For a sugar cookie, there's not much flavor. But whatever, I have frosting. I'm gonna frost them later and pop them in the fridge because there's something about a sugar cookie with frosting that's like cold and chewy. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, so I'm gonna pop you in here so we can chat for a second. A little crooked. There we go. There, that's better. So yeah, she is napping. The living room is still tidy enough. It's a dang sand. She's really into it right now, so I don't want to like take it away from her. But it is such a mess, and it's so hard to keep it contained because she wants to take it out of the container and like play with it all around the living room. Anyway, I was able to work on the second sock while she was hanging out. And so I have just completed the color work. Oh my gosh, it looks like that. Okay, the color work is done. It looks so cute. Oh my gosh, I am so obsessed with these. I wish the trees were wider and longer. Like I wish they were bigger, but I'm still so in love. So cute. I was thinking about it, and I think making them bigger wouldn't be too difficult. All right. Because I was thinking about like the chart. The chart is super simple. So I think if I sat down and like, because I have to see it. I can't do it all in my head completely. But if I made a chart based off of her chart, I'm sure I can make it bigger and adjust the stitch count. So there'd be less trees. I have 8 trees. Yes, I have 8 trees. So I'm sure if I did the math, I could make the trees bigger, which I would love to do. Just obviously not on these because I don't want to rip back, but this is the first sock, second sock, and I could cry. They are so cute. Anyway, so the second sock is gonna hang out while I finish the first sock because I can't move forward with it until I get these needles off of this sock, because these are the 3.75 millimeter US 5, and these, what was that? Oh, a book. Okay, these are the 4 millimeter, yes, US 6. So these are just gonna hang out, or this one's gonna hang out while I finish the first one. Holy moly,